Hey, what's up, guys? This is Zach. Super happy to be here at ETHDenver with one of our best partners. Really honored to be working with them for multiple years, the MarketAcross team. I'll let my guests introduce yourself. If you want to start with your name, your position, the company that you're with. I already kind of spoiled that one, but for our audience, please.
Yeah, Elad, MarketAcross, co-founder of MarketAcross, and also Chainwire, one of the biggest press release distribution services, the biggest in crypto. A part of BDFUs, which is a company that does niche-specific wire distributions. We do it in all kinds of industries, but obviously blockchain is one of the biggest ones because of MarketAcross, which is one of the most prominent PR agencies in the space, working with the likes of Binance, Crypto.com, it's done Avalanche, Polkadot's launch, Polygon's rebrand, Formatic, and many others. I won't name drop a lot more. Been in crypto since 2012 myself. So first time I bought Bitcoin was before there was even an industry. Then started the agency around 2014, which was more like fintech oriented. Then we also have another agency that does B2B SaaS, cybersecurity, or like any type of tech solutions. And then 2016, around the Ethereum ICO days, it was the Ethereum ICO, and then 2017 was the ICO boom that everything went bananas. That's when we understood that blockchain, we already had Bitcoin from back in the day. And that's when we kind of saw the shift of just like Bitcoin and alternative altcoins to an actual industry with ICOs and all kinds of like decentralized companies. And that was when MarketAcross went into the space as like a niche specific crypto only content marketing and PR solution. And today we're one of the biggest agencies in the space.
And the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
The best. We only MarketAcross. You'll be happy. What do most Web3 teams misunderstand about PR? What's the biggest misunderstanding that you hear?
That's a good question. I think one of the biggest things, I mean, PR falls under the marketing umbrella, right? So a lot of like marketing tactics and like the go-to in crypto is like shilling tokens and making like big blasts to create hype, etc. And PR itself can feed hype, but it's not only that. PR is like a top of the funnel type of service. It means it affects almost any type of action that you do in any other stage of the funnel, mid funnel, or even the bottom of the funnel. So let's say you have an ads campaign and you want to acquire users, and you have like the best PPC type of user acquisition campaign that you can like do a lot of hype on Twitter to get users. Where they need us is when they want to see if someone can be trusted, because there's not a lot of trust in crypto. So the fact that you have some kind of brand recognition, that you went with the press, that the organic press, journalists, editors, reporters, they like you, they want to talk with you, they want to present what you're doing, they're talking about your product, that bridges trust. And a lot of times when people approach us for PR, they're like, yeah, if Coindesk covers our story, how much traffic will we see from that? Don't know. I have no idea. But that Coindesk piece that is, I don't know, it can be an interview or it can be like a news coverage, they pick it up organically. It's not like a transactional relationship, meaning if they liked it, it's probably interesting, and then that will stay there forever.
Yeah.
Meaning, even if like in a year from now, you're doing a funding round, and now they want to see who you are, and they see that you're quoted in a few articles and that specific news came on CoinDesk, and now they're like, okay, so this guy is not only talking about themselves, other people are actually interested in what he has to say and in the product that he's building. And that can push down that funnel. So even if you acquire the user with like the best user acquisition funnel, the conversion is affected by your brand and the trust that you build around your brand. And
I couldn't agree more.
And that's what that's the gap that we're trying to do it. So just to answer your question, a lot of people come and they don't get that. They're like, wait, we want to push, we want to be aggressive, we want to do. you can be aggressive with PR. We do that as well, but there's so much you can do around just hype marketing PR. It's really building a foundation, making sure that you build something that eventually picks up and becomes bigger and better.
And I think what a lot of people don't realize, or what I learned from working with you guys, is like very important, because if you search up a company on the internet, the articles come up, and you people look for that. You know, they want to see that you were covered in articles. They want to see that they were trustworthy, and that makes you feel more comfortable doing business with the company, buying their products, their services. And on the other side, it prevents false narratives about the company from coming out. I remember I used to work at Ripple, and they had to spend so much money on PR, largely because a lot of people were writing fake stories, scam stories, to try and get people to invest in fake Ripple, basically.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just like actually getting your the truth out, basically, in crypto is very hard. And I'm sure you've dealt with that too.
Yeah, so controlling your own narrative is extremely important in crypto, and especially if, you know, like if you're a small company, like it's always important, but it's even more important when you talk about companies like Ripple. You have a lot of haters out there. A lot of people are talking shit. It's very important that you can control the overall narrative, because then it's less interesting what people say between themselves. Like it always is interesting, but eventually you wanna be able to talk to like people who never heard about Ripple before, that are now researching what is Ripple, and that's the narrative that you want to control. So you can do it through news announcements of like products, partnerships, new hires, stuff like that are actually happening in Ripple. Thought leadership, extremely important. Like it's funny. I always say that crypto is like a decentralized industry, yet the cult of personality and like the guru culture in crypto is immense. Mm-hmm. Like you have a face for almost anything in crypto. Like of course you have the anons, but if you look at like the big projects or big companies in crypto, Binance has CZ, Vitalik for Ethereum, and Joe Lubin for Consensus and Justin Sun for Tron, Charles Hoskinson for Cardano. Even Bitcoin has Satoshi, someone that you
properly Armstrong, Coinbase. It goes on and on. Yeah, you're right. I never thought about that.
And that goes back to trust, because eventually, you have, we say like trustless in crypto because there's no trust. And a lot of times that figure, someone that you can relate to, someone that you know that is approachable, someone that talks for the brand, that creates the trust and bridges that gap. Obviously, you can't just do that. Eventually, you need to like also back it up with good products and a good foundation. You can't be like a complete scammer and expect people to trust you. They will find it out. But in order to control the narrative when you're actually building something that's interesting, I think that's extremely important.
When you work with clients, what's the thing you focus on most to make PR actually work? Or in other words, to make sure that they're happy?
It's a good question. And we're a little bit different in the PR landscape because we come from a content marketing background. So we have another agency, as I said, that we're like very B2B SaaS oriented. We work with clients like we've done work for HubSpot or for SimilarWeb or Wiz, if it's cybersecurity, or Checkpoint, etc. A lot of what we do in Inbound Junction, it's like a PR meets content marketing type of solution. So a lot of the traditional PR agencies, I find that one, they work on a retainer model, like you just pay them and hope for the best. It's kind of like hiring an attorney. You know that you need an attorney because sometimes you need like legal stuff handled, but it's not all the time, not every month. With us, we have a deliverables-based type of approach to PR, which means you can have a monthly, like a consistent flow of like PR and articles, etc. And we tell you how much you get for each package, which is monthly. But you can also set up a non-monthly budget with us that you can just use at will. So you get like a flexible, you can control the volume and the pace and the velocity of a campaign and not just be
stuck in that ongoing retainer type.
It's like, oh, there's a holiday season coming up. I need to go really hard right now, and then after that, I'm not going to do anything for 3 weeks.
And not exactly, but also in crypto, sometimes you want to be super aggressive because now the market is like, looking for things that fall under your narrative, and you're like, oh my God, Bitcoin is up and everything is like going crazy, and you want to be aggressive. And sometimes you just want to like cherry pick and be able to like take opportunities. So I think our model by definition is something that kind of relieves a lot of the concerns of PR. And I think that the whole content marketing approach to PR is something that's a little bit unique in the way that we approach it. So for example, we do a lot of like SEO oriented campaigns. Now with LLMs, ChatGPT, what people are asking for, it kind of falls under SEO, but it's more of like AEO and like being able to appear in search engines. So it's a lot of content marketing, meaning pushing comparisons, listicles, reviews of products when they come out. We pitch reviews and we try to get that footprint that's not always contingent on like which announcement you have. So because we have a deliverables-based approach, we need to fill some kind of quota every month of like actual articles and deliverables. And because we need to do that, that keeps us motivated, and we find ways and strategies to get to the media with not only like, what's your announcement, give me your press release. That's the easy part. Not easy to do because you still need connections, but it's easy to explain. I have a news, like let's write a press release, let's push it out. But with content marketing, you can get creative. For example, I don't know, like let's say you're a new up-and-coming solution in, privacy. And now you want to go after someone who's been around forever and has like a good name. Let's say you're an alternative to Zcash, and now you want to go and explain to the world why you might be better in some aspects than Zcash. Creating a lot of comparisons between you and your brand and Zcash, and then showing how you are, not slandering Zcash, but showing how you might be better in some things. You know that because you're a new brand, people might Google Zcash or Zcash alternative, and that's where you're going to pop up. So you can find things that you know people are looking for. If you're an exchange and you know that you have the best customer support, let's start pushing you as a new exchange to compare to another exchange that already has a big name and who has better customer support. And now you know that if someone is Googling like the other exchanges name customer support because they might have had a bad experience, now they bump into an article that talks about you. Again, not slandering them, but now they know about you. So these are all kind of like more content marketing oriented tactics that I think help us not sit on the sidelines with clients and just say like, hey, yeah, you have some news, and if you don't have news, you have nothing to do. We're very proactive. We want to fulfill the quota. We have a contract that says that we need to fulfill a quota. So that keeps us motivated, and that I think it makes our clients more satisfied with the results because they know that we're not just there waiting for something to happen, but we're actually pushing.
You're moving the needle continuously.
Correct.
Super important. This is just kind of a question from me, and I'm going a little bit off questions here, but why does PR and marketing sometimes just get like a bad name? Like we're in marketing or whatever, and like sometimes people just see it as like it gets a bad name. They see it as something dirty. Like why do you think that is, and how do we get around that?
It's a good question. I think marketing in general gets a bad name in
you're right.
Crypto, and it's because a lot of it's a lot of shill, like a lot of aggressive tactics, like being very pushy, very aggressive. It's PR is one thing in it, but I think you can say it about any type of marketing in crypto, like KOL marketing and community, like bounty campaigns and airdrops that they can come spammy, and then sponsored articles that are very much like, aggressive, and it can create negativity from, people who are not in it. Then on the other hand, you have people who are looking for it. So
I think a lot of bad players are using a lot of like super aggressive tactics, creating a bad name for the industry as a whole, and then for marketing as a driver in that. So I I guess that's my 2 cents about that. And then specifically for PR, I just think that it falls back to what I said before. Hiring a PR agency usually is like hiring an attorney. It's not that it's a bad thing to have an attorney with you for whatever happens, but a lot of times you don't need this every month to push something out. And then you end up having like strategy calls over strategy calls and like not a lot of output, but then you get like an invoice every month. And that creates some kind of like a misalignment on what the client wants and what the PR agency's model is. So our model kind of solves it, but
No, that's a really good answer.
yeah.
Okay, I like this one. What's one mistake founders should avoid when it comes to communication? Like, what's the biggest mistake you see founders make, and you're like, oh God, like, please just don't do that again.
Yeah, I think the most common mistake that I see that is like an honest mistake, and it's like the basics of PR. A lot of founders jump the gun when it comes to publishing a piece of news that's interesting to approach the media with. And that means, I'll explain. Let's say that you secured a very big partnership with Microsoft. They're like they invested in you, and now they're like your Web3 partner. And it's a very big piece of news because it's Microsoft stepping into crypto or whatever. Amazon. But like a big
deal.
Yeah, big deals.
The media in crypto, well, one of the things they like the most are adoption angles. Like
A big company tapping into crypto, that's a signal for the community. So we would want to take that and offer it to the media, like actually call reporters, talk with editors, make sure that maybe we give an exclusive to like a big outlet, and maybe like try to secure media under embargo and do the whole like media show. And a lot of times founders, they're not savvy enough when it comes to PR. They would just like put it on their website, tweet it out, and then they will go to like, we got an investment from whatever, this company, like, and they want to push it out from their blog because they want to show to their community. They're like, they want to push it out, but maybe they can do it after CoinDesk talks about it. Or after, if it's like, if it has a mainstream hook, maybe after, Fortune comes out with like the news, and then you can follow up. Like, why would you waste that opportunity? If you talk about something officially in your official site, you tweet it out, you put it on your blog, you do all that, that's not news anymore.
The news doesn't care. They're not going to put it out.
Not news, it's old. It's now not news. Yeah. When I go to the area, I give them news.
They're like, they already tweeted this.
It's out. It's not news. News is new.
Yeah. No, yeah, I like that.
So a lot of times I think that's like the biggest mistake that I see.
News is new.
Yeah.
It's a great term.
News.
Yeah.
Not old.
So don't put out big news. If you want the press to cover it, don't put it out yourself. Get the press to cover it first.
Correct. And by the way, it's not only for big news. Also, it's we also have Chainwire. Chainwire is a distribution platform. It's a very effective distribution platform, but it's paid, meaning you can just put whatever you want on the newswire, but you can control it a lot better than if you go to like a journalist that needs to write an article, and then you have zero control on what he writes. You send him the press release, he looks at it and he writes it. When you push out on the newswire, a lot of times, if you just push it out and someone can pick it up organically, it's a hit and a miss because you could have done it organically by talking with an editor. But it's also very effective if you have a good piece of news that you know that it's like, it's promotional. Like it's a promotion to go to your event. That's not something that the blog will cover, organically. But you might be able to push out a press release about your event. That's fine. So it doesn't mean that even if you have a piece of news that's not like amazing breaking news, Microsoft, whatever,
you should always try to pitch. And then if it doesn't get picked up as you wanted it to, you can have alternatives. Or if it gets picked up, you can also push out a wire after to make it more visible. But always try, or always try to go organically and actually make someone interested in the story.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the fantastic interview. I've learned a lot. You already know MarketAcross. If you need PR, the only PR agency in Web3 to go with. We recommend them exclusively. They're amazing partners. So really appreciate the time. Thank you so much.